So, I had a crazy idea. What if anime girls became real? Specifically in politics, because I already know the end result for that question. Absolute degeneracy. But I still had my two testicles with me. So, I decided I would put the effort to make every single member of parliament an anime girl. I'm not fucking kidding. And since people are horny as fuck, I might as well put an anime girl on my thumbnail. And it'll get a bunch of clicks. But let's just get on topic. So first of all, we need to set up the conditions. The Bloc Quebecois will not exist in this scenario. So first of all, the Bloc Quebecois is a center-left party. So we're just gonna give all of the seats to the Liberals. And secondly, the Liberal Party is also center-left. So this will give them a total of 185 seats in Parliament. I'm also going to be ignoring the Green Party and the People's Party because they're probably irrelevant parties, I'll be honest. Like the Green Party literally has one seat in Parliament.
Facebook Live, what up? We lit it too titty at this whack ass funeral. I already know where I'm from, B. Look at this ugly nigga, B. Word of my mother, I won't smack this nigga right here. Say I won't smack this nigga.
Anyways, let's just get this over with.
Nobody's doing anything about it. 48 suicides.
They wanna see blood, they wanna see hate, like a needle in your veins, a sixth with the name. In a world that's insane, what's America to blame?
You laughed right in the middle of the semester, and I'm having trouble remembering why.
They wanna see blood, they wanna see hate, like a fucking AK. It's going up in flames. In a world that's insane, what's America to blame? When you're praying for a change to a God with no face.
Now, thank you for listening to my intro, and now let's actually get to the real map. So right here is the map if anime girls were all MPs. Alright, so you can see here, it looks like a clusterfuck, I'll be honest. Like, you can look, this is not even realistic at all. But you can see similar patterns, a little bit of similar patterns on the urban areas. Except Ottawa would have been more liberal. And these conservative, and this would be filled with the liberals. And who's the winner of this election, of the 2025 election? It'd be the Conservative Party with 123 seats. While the Liberal Party is also second with 121 seats. And then the NDP is third with 99 seats, which is honestly impressive for the Conservative Party. And you can see all the oranges right here. Oranges and enclaves, right? Now before we start yapping about this and that, we gotta look at the map entirely. From the East Coast all the way to the West Coast. Let's go.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
In the Maritimes, we can see here, basically the Conservatives are completely demolished, kicked out of the Maritimes. You can see it's mostly consisting of NDP and Liberals over here. You can see, in fact, in Halifax, right here, there's only one Conservative exclave over here, and then the rest is Liberal, basically. And within Prince Edward Island, you can see that the NDP is dominating here. Except in Charleston, Charlottetown, where the Liberal Party owns that seat. And if we look at New Brunswick, we can see here the NDP owns not only Fundy Bay, but also Moncton, Grand Lake, and all the rest of these areas over here up north, and Fredericton as well. Yeah, don't forget that. Meanwhile, the Liberals would be owning just what the hell, and St. John's, and the Conservatives would just own, South New Brunswick and this little part over here. And if we look at Newfoundland and Labrador, yeah, there is no way that the NDP or Conservatives will touch this. Like, this is just full-on liberal land. What are the some of you guys might say, what are the fishermen doing? Why are they voting liberal? Okay, it's just a scenario where anime girls become MPs, and yeah, and this is the result. So every anime girl that wanted to live in Newfoundland and Labrador turned out to be liberal. So it ain't the fishermen's fault, Let them keep their grind. Some notable members of parliament you might know is Mika Misano from Blue Archive, that represents the Liberal Party in Nova Scotia. And then there's Jervis from Azure Lane, who represents the NDP in Prince Edward Island, and Vanilla from Nekopara that represents the Conservative Party in Nova Scotia. Okay, now who do we have next? Oh shit. Quebec.
Ta mère en voulait pas, toi t'étais un accident, et puis toi...
Okay, so when we look at the north right here, northern Quebec, right? It's all conservative. And that includes Quebec City, actually, most of it. And includes old Quebec, yes. But when you go south, it gets a little more chaotic. You can see all of this, all of this, okay? Liberals, alright? NDP. It gets way more chaotic, down south. And let's take a look at Montreal, alright? You can see Liberals, it looks like they completely dominated Montreal and basically southern Quebec, while the NDP is just stuck here, just have the second place here. And you can see the Conservatives are pretty much struggling to have control of Montreal. And if a Frenchman or Quebecois ever asks me, why didn't I add the Bloc Quebecois? Why didn't I add it to the list where, the anime girls can, be members of parliament under the Bloc Quebecois? And I'll tell you why. Because no fucking anime girl would want to be a part of the Bloc Quebecois. Alright? It's an irrelevant, it's a shitty party. Alright? It should only exist in Quebec. It shouldn't exist in Ontario. It shouldn't exist in Nova Scotia. It shouldn't exist anywhere but Quebec. That's what they represent. They only represent Quebec, basically. And whenever an election comes, the Bloc Québécois is obviously a force. If the Conservatives want to form a coalition, they have to form a coalition with the Bloc Québécois. And I see that as quite strange, considering that the Bloc Québécois, all it is just more power leverage over Canada as a whole, alright? Some notable members of parliament in Quebec would be Shinano from Azure Lane, that represents the Conservatives, and then Arcana, which is from Goddess of Victory, that represents the Liberal Party, and then Misaka Mikoto, I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Misaka Mikoto. Yes. And should be from a certain magical index and a certain scientific railgun. What the Fuck. What? Anyways, should be representing the NDP. Of fucking course. Au revoir, Quebec. Hello, Ontario.
And now I know how far you go to be the next freak show American Psycho.
In Ontario, it's an entirely different situation than the North. You can see Quebec is all conservative. Well, meanwhile, in Ontario, it's liberal right here. All liberal, you know. In Sault Ste. Marie, this is an NDP land. And we can see there is one, Sudbury is conservative. And if we look down south, we can see a mix of liberal and NDP with some conservatives going around the Bruce Trail area, basically. I'm just gonna call it that, or Niagara Escarpment. But for Toronto, that's an entirely different situation, and I'll get to that really quickly. But first, we gotta look at the Ottawa area. So the Ottawa is just, conservative. It's just all that, with only the center being liberal, and Hull being NDP. So basically, in this case, Carleton, so that's where Pierre Poilievre has his seat. So this would now be, his seat. Basically, Cottage County, as they say, is mixed conservative and mixed NDP.
We are banning 1,500 models and variants of these firearms by way of regulations. These weapons were designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to kill the largest number of people.
Anyways, that was just my schizo edit. So what we have here is the Toronto area. That includes Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington. Burlington's off the map. And Oshawa, as well as Markham, Richmond Hills, and Vaughan. And don't forget Brampton. So you could see here, it's mostly liberal and NDP, with Toronto's center being Conservative Party, which is pretty strange, I'll be honest, because Ottawa's center is liberal. So maybe they must have made a switch or something. And the university right next to it, and is obviously liberal, but we have all these areas surrounding it that aren't liberal. This is because the anime girls decide to, just say, fuck it, I want to live right next to university. And this is what that happens, is the result of your MPs liking university right here. And we can go even further on this map. So the Golden Horseshoe area is basically this entire area right here. So you can see over here, Burlington is conservative, while most of Hamilton is also conservative, except Ancaster, which is liberal. And we can see here, Niagara Falls is NDP, St. Catharines is conservative, and we got Guelph, alright, as conservative, and this is just a liberal area. And lastly, London is just NDP. It's an NDP area, basically. And we got Windsor, basically. Windsor, it's just forgotten, I'll be honest.
Sometimes, where's the hotties?
Notable Ontarian MPs would be Yuka Hayate from Blue Archive, that represents the Conservatives. Uri Spencer Sawamura, I think that's how I pronounce it, from Sakano, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend. Oh, honestly, if I saw that fucking title, bro, I'm out. Alright, I'm leaving Ontario if this is my representative. But anyways, represents the Liberals. And then we got Mio Akiyama from KON that represents the NDP. Now, where did my profile pic came from? Oh, these provinces. So some of you guys might be saying, "Oh, this is so surprising," or some of you guys might say, this is normal." And when I look over here and compare it to the 2025 real election maps without the waifus, it's kind of different. You can see. So we're starting with Manitoba, alright? So it's basically split in half, okay? Winnipeg is just like split in half, like it's, I don't know, segregated into party lines. And you can see the northern part, yeah, this big ass northern part, Conservative. Saskatchewan, we're gonna rush to these two big, they're not big cities, but Regina would be, or Regina, I don't know how you pronounce it, would be NDP basically, except this little part over here. And then we go to Saskatchewan, it's basically Conservative, alright, including the university, which is surprising enough. And rural areas are mostly Conservatives, with the exception of Prince Albert and yeah. And when we go to Alberta, alright, okay, now the Albertans, they're gonna come after me. They're gonna come after me. I know the statistics. Alright, I know what's gonna happen.
بالله عليك عليك بالعافيه بعد عمرك.
جيب لي ماز محمد، جيب لي ماز.
هذا عشاء. نعمة الله.
وين اللحوم؟
نعمة الله مو بنعمة.
جيب لي ماز في عشاء.
So, what you can see here is that Banff, basically Banff and Jasper would be in this area, right? And normally it would be Conservative according to them, but it's NDP here. And for most of the Alberta major cities like Edmonton and Calgary, they're invested with Liberals, and the NDP also got some spots over here. You can see, and NDP owns what, four spots, and the Conservatives only own 2 seats, and Liberals have 3 over here in Alberta. And unfortunately for the Albertans, they lost the oil sands. Notable MPs include Keeching from Genshin Impact, Azusa from Blue Archive, and Alia from what was the end? Oh yeah, Alia sometimes hides her money in Russia. Alright, now let's cross over the Rockies and into well, over here it seems to be a little bit more accurate. Well, it's a mostly liberal province, but if we look at Vancouver over here, you can see, yeah, and the NDP probably would have been saved. And alright, Victoria, British Columbia's capital would be conservative, well, and including the surrounding areas as well. And the southern part would be all liberal, like the entire border over here. Border with the US, liberal. And for the skiers, Whistler is probably going to be NDP or liberal. I don't know where it is. And for the big conservative parts, Prince George and the Northern Rockies and Central Rockies would be conservative. Notable MPs from British Columbia would include Mai Sakurajima from Rascal Does Not Dream, Enterprise from Azure Lane, and Boucher from Azure Lane.
C4 has been successfully activated. Bomb detonation countdown successfully started.
And for the territories, I'm not really gonna show it or anything because it is just 100% NDP. But Shiroko does live there. So here's my PowerPoint presentation. So hypothetically, if let's just say Pierre Polyev, he got shot in the head, right? And he's dead basically. He's dead basically. Saber would basically be Pierre Polyev's replacement. Same with all these people over here. Here's the next slide. Before and after. So Pierre Polyev before had 120 seats. Now he has 123, up by 3. But the surprising part is the NDP, which only had 24 seats before, and now has 99, which is up by 75. Unfortunately for Mark Carney, though, he had 185 seats, and he's down by 164 seats. He only won 121 seats, which, according to Canada, makes Pierre Polyev the winner. Alright, next slide. This is the House of Commons, and these are all the seats. So the ruling party, the Conservative Party, would basically kind of be like a minority government, right? It's a minority government, and the Liberal Party and the NDP could just team up, and basically crush the Conservative Party's effort in lawmaking. Alright, here's British Columbia, here's Alberta, here's Saskatchewan, here's Manitoba, here's Ontario, here's Quebec, here's New Brunswick, here's Prince Edward Island, here's Nova Scotia, and here's Newfoundland and Labrador.
変じゃないよ。好きなんだもん。だから、セックスしても。
没有共产党就没有新中国，没有共产党就没有新中国。共产党生劳为民主，共产党在新旧中国，他这个人民解放的道路，他领导中国走向光明。这是了抗战6年多，开始了人民生活，这是了帝国民主对他形成了民主傲出国。没有共产党就没有新中国，没有共产党就没有新中国。
One of the issues I had was trying to get an interview with an anime girl, I tried going through portals, I tried making portals, but it seems like I can't. So this basically forces me to use AI to, get these anime girls' political preferences. But thing is, the AI is kind of stupid, and I think anime girls, they rarely have, if not no political preferences at all. So the AI would judge their political preferences by personality. And what happens is that you get like the most politest, most heartwarming people to be NDP, when who knows, they might be supporting Pierre Polyev, for example. And this could be my fault at my end, and I take responsibility because I asked the AI vague questions like, is A conservative, liberal, or social democrat, instead of who would you pick for the 2025 Canadian elections. And I only did that when I was basically 80% finished. But something that makes slightly more sense in terms of personality is location, because I did ask the AI what anime girl would want to live in, but it kind of also doesn't make sense at the same time. And Quebec would be the best example of this. And I do have a friend, alright, who's homeless, who lives in Quebec, around the Montreal area to be exact, and I'm featuring him here. I have a man from Montreal, Quebec, and I paid $20 for this interview, so it better be good, right? So yeah, what is your name?
My name is Jacob Deschamps.
Jacob Deschamps. Okay, Jacob. My first question is, why do you live in Quebec? Why do you live in Quebec? Why do you live in Montreal, in Quebec?
Je dois être honnête, I feel like this is where I was born. This is where I have family. I have basically everything in Montreal. If I just abandon it all and I just go to Toronto, I'll just have to pay more rent, and I have to meet a lot of people that speak English. They're not gonna speak fuck all français. And basically, I feel like home here. Okay, I was born here. I have family here. I spend my education here. I spend my jobs here. Everything. Okay, I have not once moved out of this town, this city. Okay.
And I bet you never will, because you're homeless. Anyway. Next, second question. What would be the consequences of having waifus as your member of parliament for your district? What did you think?
How can I say this? It would be pretty chaotic itself, because I know there's a lot of politicians in Quebec that are really chaotic, they're really this and that. Okay, people don't really like the politicians here in Quebec, and I do think they're right. I do think they're really right, genuinely speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. What else? Oh yes. I would like to say that there's people that think that I'm really homeless, but I'm not. I'm just low middle class. It's just that I'm just sitting on the road because my friend over here is I'm just waiting for him. Anyway, as I was saying, it would be pretty chaotic. Look, dude, if they arrived in the House of Commons or in the Senate, it would be fucking chaotic. There's gonna have one politician say, non, moi je voudrais faire pour les maisons, moi je voudrais faire pour les prix et mon tabernacle. And the other one will say ah mais non, mais moi je voudrais faire cher, je voudrais faire ça. Mon calice de isti. Des calices, toi. And I would say, yeah, it would be pretty chaotic. Imagine the waifus replacing this shit. It's just the same thing, but with fucking girly voices.
with more high-pitched girly voices.
Yes, basically.
Alright, so what would be the Quebecers or Quebecois opinion on this? Like, opinion on the waifus becoming members of parliament?
Oh, yes. They would be 50-50. Like they'll be 50% happy, but they would also be 50% disappointed. And like they're happy because they're gonna have more they're gonna have like basically like a new flavor of ice cream. Like they're gonna have a new type of politician. They'll have this and that, but like it will be disappointing because maybe they're gonna be like probably dog shit. Or basically, if there was one that was really good for us, and basically when she or I don't know he, just in case if it's a fucking femboy or gay, I do think like if Amy gets replaced by some dog shit politician, I think people would riot over that. Because it would be like basically the same thing as like normal politicians, but like it's gonna be more interesting. You know what I mean? Like imagine the rest of the world looking at this. Hey, why is there members of parliament and even the prime minister waifus? Like genuinely speaking, and so basically, yeah.
Yes. For the next question, some of the prompts that I got, the waifus say they want to move to Quebec because it is romantic and seductive and all of that. Is that really true?
That's it. Not at all.
Not at all?
The only romance, not at all. Look, because the only romance that we got is either you fall in love with someone and then like 20 years later you'll just divorce with them and just take the kids with you, and then every 3 days, you'll just every 3 days they'll ask for the kids. Hey kids, you should come to my house, and then every 3 days they'll have to go left right, and then they have to complicate with school, and then they have to do this. But dad treats me better. Oh, but mom treats me better. It's a whole lot of complications. Okay.
The romance would be yeah, pretty interesting. Alright, I get you. Okay, I get you. So, when I typed up on the prompt, alright,
Yes.
most of the political opinions came from personality. And I find that strange. Yeah. The, Quebec members of parliament who are now waifus, now use their personality as policy. So their feelings become fact. Huh? Would that significantly damage Quebec's reputation because a mix of personalities are now in Quebec?
How would I say this? It's gonna be like a 50. Like my response for that is no contest, because it might be like a 50-50. Okay. Like it might be like in jeopardy. Maybe it might be in jeopardy because like they have like 50-50 this and that. But like to be honest, at the end of the day, even though you have like different things, I think they'll just shake it off.
Alright, jeez. Alright. What's the next one? Let me look at the script. Oh! What's your feeling about the Bloc Quebecois?
Bloc Quebecois?
Yeah.
They don't win at all. You think, we're gonna win, we're gonna shape Quebec, like the glory days. Where do I see that? You get dominated by the liberals and in conservatives every single fucking election. Like, what are you talking about?
Alright, so somebody within my channel, they suggested this question. Alright. It was actually about Quebec separatism. How would waifus in member of parliament positions affect Quebec separatism?
Actually, that's a pretty good question. I would say that like, to be honest, we didn't really have like separatist moves since like the 1980s with like I don't know, of like terrorist attacks and stuff. Like, I don't think like there's not much of it. I have to be honest, but like if you try to do a separatist move against Quebec or in general in Canada, yeah, no, they will hunt your booty. They will they will turn you around like a kebab machine et vont te niquer la gueule, te poigner la gueule, comme sérieusement là.
Oh.
Et moi je parle pour les gens là de.
Hey, okay, listen, my editors in China, right? They're working on my videos, and so don't worry about that.
Mais est-ce que ça a mené tu payes des gens de Chine là pour faire tes vidéos là? Fils de pute.
Okay, and you mentioned that, and I also forgot to mention that the majority of members of parliament would be under 18 because they're high schoolers that I'm fucking putting in members of parliament political positions.
Ouais, les personnes là de secondaire. Ouais, non, c'est seulement les étudiants, ils vont comprendre fuck all des politiciens. C'est ça, enfin, un gars là, mais maman ça. Okay, why am I even speaking French? Sorry about that. It's just that like sometimes I speak French most of the time, but when you told me to speak English, okay.
Yes, speak English.
Yeah. Anyway, if you wanted to, so basically what I said is that if they try to do this, they will know nothing. Okay, like, genuinely, they will know nothing about politicians. It's their study. And besides, how the fuck are you hiring underage minors to work in parliament? Like, dude, parliament is like the most important job that you would have in the government. And the government is like literally, and you're bringing fucking 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, dude. They barely got a job. They barely get money. They barely get this. They didn't even finish high school yet. And you do this.
Last question. This is actually from a viewer of mine, apparently horny ass viewer, and he said, would you like your member of parliament's titties?
What the fuck? What kind of question is that? Mais est-ce quoi cette fils de pute des questions là? Ouais, je te jure, si je vois le mec là, je vais lui poigner la gueule. Je vais le niquer. Comme sa mère que j'ai fait l'autre jour.
I'm sorry, it's a part of the script. I don't know what to tell you. Would you not? It's just yes or no.
No, of course not. Why?
All right. Thank you for having. I thank you for this interview. All right. Thank you. All right. Because I'll be.
What do you mean? Thank you. No. I'm not done, bro. I'm not done. Wait. Okay. What's your name? What's your name, fella?
Well, my name is Jamal.
Jamal.
Yes, Jamal.
I think you're really handsome, Jamal. Can you just turn around and shake your booty with me?
Whoa,
do the thought shaker, little fella.
Whoa, hey.
Enlève tes vêtements. Maintenant.
So basically, having anime girls as members of parliament would be a really bad idea for Quebec, and not only for Quebec, but Canada as a whole, and also the G7, because anime girls' personality affects their political affiliations according to the AI. So, which means that even with the Conservative Party winning, they still lose because many of the MPs would disagree on policy, and also with the Liberals and NDP basically teaming up. They might team up to beat the Conservatives every time they try passing a motion. Their military might be strong, but their political and administrative power would be very, very weak. They would not know how to pass economic policies, unless there is an anime to it, which I don't really see it that much. And they also have to talk to the people as well. And if you motherfuckers still believe that anime girls becoming members of parliament is actually a good idea, take us from this video over here.
Cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
You're
playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
I guess my client is too shy to say anything, and too lazy to make a schizo edit. So according to him, a Metallica X Vietnam War video is coming soon. But he also wants to create a Katrina video since it's August. So I'll be sleeping here in Nunavut here while he makes the videos.